Well, so first, thanks for granting us this interview. He doesn't need to be introduced, but Daniel is the lifter that more kilos has raised in raw with 1,127.5 kilos, and in sleeve with 1,142.5 kilos. After this little introduction, we can start. My first question is, how is quarantine going? And is your family okay? And can you still train?
Oh yeah, the family's all good. Everybody's keeping safe, keeping distance. All staying, washing our hands, doing the best we can, following the CDCs. I'm actually still working. So is my father. My wife actually, she's been off for a month now, but she's been home keeping everything safe. We got a bunch of dogs and just having fun with that. Yeah, we're doing real good. The whole family's doing good. So it's a big plus. It's just a waiting game now. But yeah, the training, it's been a little inconsistent. I've been lucky enough to where I have a few buddies that have garage gyms, so I've been able to train here and there. Just nothing too consistent. It's hard to tell with when we're gonna have a next competition come up, so it's not really my main priority right now, which is good. It's been a good run for me these last couple months, so a little break's not gonna hurt me, that's for sure.
Okay, that sounds good. The next question: how did you feel when you lifted the raw world record and then with the sleeves?
Well, to be honest, after my first squat, the 462, I was really surprised that I even had that much, but I was really surprised how smooth it went and how great it went. But I knew my training prior to that was really good, and my time was really good, so I had a good peak going. The next day was a different story, though. I felt pretty bad. I get pretty bad shoulder and bicep tendonitis, and that was really flared up on me a little bit after that. But no, it wasn't too bad. Just a normal training day, I like to think, but I was pretty sore.
Mm-hmm. Good. Next one. You are one of the best powerlifters in the world. Can you afford to live only from powerlifting?
What was that?
You can live with your powerlifting. Do you have any work or only do it powerlifting?
No, actually, yeah, I'm a mechanic.
Uh-huh.
I've been a mechanic for almost 20 years now, so I still do that every day. I've been really lucky with the job that I have, where they're really flexible with hours, and I get to work late at night if I have to, or early in the morning if I have to. So I've been pretty lucky with that. But yeah, I work. I don't think, even if I had the opportunity to financially be ahead with powerlifting, I don't think I would not work. It's just in my blood.
Mm-hmm. Next one. For how long have you been lifting? Which is the most difficult part for you?
I've been lifting for going on 6 years now, and well, it'll be 7 years coming up soon.
7 years?
Yeah, competitively, it's been a fun run. The most difficult part was hitting the plateaus and knowing when my body needed a break. My first 2 years, I did almost 20 competitions. I just didn't know any better. I just kept hopping in, and I knew I was good. I mean, I was always taking first place, but I didn't know that my body needed a break, and having to throttle that down. And now that I'm moving a lot higher weights, I know my body needs a lot more to recover to push that weight consistently. So really slowing me down to recover more has been the hardest thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Good. Which do you think the future of powerlifting will be?
We're well, I mean, without the coronavirus stuff, it's hard to tell, but I think it's just gonna get better. Really, I think if we all stick together like we have been, I see they're slimming down on federations. They're gonna, a lot more competitions are bringing the higher caliber lifters, and that's what people want. The higher caliber lifters to put on the show. So powerlifting isn't so boring. Like, you go to a powerlifting meet, it's easy to get bored, but if you go and see all the top athletes from around the world, it's pretty exciting. So I see, you know, within the next 5-10 years, there's gonna be a lot more bigger meets, a lot more money meets, and I'm hoping that it expands outside of the U.S. because I know a lot of us over here would love to travel and see the world while we're doing what we love.
Mm-hmm. So, since you got the topic out, do you think there are many federations in powerlifting? What do you think about that? Do you think is a good or bad thing?
For the most part, but they all have the same standard rules. I mean, there's a few different rules with the IPF, with the no knee wraps, and then, you know, with the monolift being a questionable thing too. I see the monolift as being a safety aspect. I see the knee wraps as pushing the most weight out of a human body. So there's two different sides to both of those. With powerlifting, the name of the game is the most weight on the bar. So if you can use the knee wraps and the monolift to get the most weight on the bar, isn't that what we're all here for? You know, it's kind of the way I look at that. But you know, if we could all just, you know, have divisions like we do now, I think we're headed in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Who is the GOAT and who is your personal GOAT?
Well, of course, Ed Cohn. Ed Cohn's got to be the GOAT. He's actually one of my personal, really good friends, and I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years. He's a really great guy, really awesome. He's the type of guy that would give you the shirt off his back. But my personal GOAT would either be him or Eric Lillibridge. I've got to know both of them really well. They're very well-rounded, very intelligent to talk to about the sport. They engulf their lives around the sport. So I got to give those totals or those titles to those guys. I see a lot of potential out of John Hack. He's super great. Tyler Atwood. There's all kinds of lifters now that are holding the reins and staying on top because it's a fun climb to get to the top, but staying up here is the challenge. You know, it's you always got the next person to go after, and once you get up to the top, there's no next person. You're the one there. So staying at the top's always the toughest.
Okay, now we will talk about the debate between Hafthor and Hall. I guess you have heard something about this.
Yeah, of course.
Actuality. So, what's your view on this 500 ones world record debate between Eddie and Thor? Do you think it will count as a world record?
I don't think it will, just because it's going to be discredited. I don't think it should be, just because Hafthor's put in so much work, and he is a great guy. I've met him and Eddie before. They're both good people, but I understand Eddie's side of it. It does make sense. But Hafthor is doing what he can with the situation that we have in hand, you know, with the world epidemic. I'm always one of those guys where you gotta judge the lift. So I mean, of course, there's going to be multiple cameras at this event. There's going to be multiple millions of people seeing it. So if Hafthor loads the weight and does the lift and it's clean, it looks great, you can't discredit the guy. So I believe it should count as a world record if it's clean. You know, I always say, you know, let the lifts talk. Like we talked about the federations and whatnot earlier. If the lift is clean, the federation doesn't matter. You know, I mean, that's just the way I look at that. If the lift is good, it looks good on the video. If you got a different angle and you get to see it, you know, I always been one of those guys just says, let the lifts talk, because I'm not one of those guys that, like Eddie, goes out on social media and does all the yapping. I think that's a little publicity stunt, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
How do you think coronavirus will affect powerlifting this 2020?
I really don't see much meets going on, even in the later part of this year. Even if they do start getting the meets back going and stuff like that, everybody needs 12 weeks to get a good peak in. So if we might be able to see some decent meets in December, November area, but prior to that, no, I don't see 2020 as being too great of a year. I knock on wood every day that I got my totals in when I did.
Mm-hmm. Finally, can US Open still in the November, December? When do it? When they do it?
Yeah. I'll the next big chance I get, I'm gonna hop on it. I've been lucky enough to be able to keep training a little bit here and there, but I really want to try to go for 1080 kilo. That's my next goal.
Good. So Daniel, this is all. Thanks you for your time. I wish you continue improving, and I wish you the best. Thanks for all. For the fans of the channel, now I talk in Spanish. Muchas gracias a todos por estar aquí. Agradecer a Daniel pues esta entrevista, esta primera entrevista, que esperemos que sea la primera de otras muchas. In the future, I like to be will be another interview if you like it and if you have time. Okay. So thanks, Daniel. I stop the